All right.
Can you stop back there?
Ah, shoot, I started to find out. Those two in the back. The entire video.
What are they doing?
I don't even know. Chapter 8. Solutions 256. Alright, so I still like I do this video a little bit faster, so we're going really fast. Chapter 8, solutions and other mixtures. I had talked about homogeneous and heterogeneous mixtures. Section 2 about chapter 8 was how things dissolve, and this one we water, covalent, talk about the dissolving processes. 3 sections, so the last one is solubility and concentration. Talk about the solubility in water. I think we talked about like the pH levels and stuff, so I think that's like something that stuck out the most from the chapter was the pH levels. Now what's chapter 9? Chapter 9, acids, bases, and salt. Bison. Acids, bison, and salt. Acids, bases, and pH. Ooh, maybe this is what we learned about pH. Or maybe we just got an introductory last chapter. Gave us a general background. And the second section talked about how like they react. And the last section talked about different cleaning products and like what has different pH levels. So it gave us like a in-depth look at what we use in our everyday lives to figure out what has the strongest pH levels.
Biological science, which is the science of living things, and there is physical, which is mass and energy, and earth science is
10 nuclear changes. We talked about radioactivity, and we talked about nuclear radiation, nuclear decay, radioactive decay rates. We talked about fission and fusion. I think we did something with like the I's and the U's, just remembered fission and fusion. Talked about nuclear radiation in our modern 21st century problems. What up? Talked about where the most radiation is coming from, how we use nuclear radiation, and the risk of nuclear radiation power plants.
And you got a pie line.
And
yeah, they do.
give you a lot of power.
Got them up there.
I got the power.
They did it all. All right. Did we yay them? Yay!
All right. Then we moved on to motion, and we talked about how we measure motion, acceleration, motion, and force. Talk about different like observing speed and velocity, calculating speed, graphing motion in the first section. That seemed more like math to me, but whatever. Acceleration, we talked about acceleration, motion, calculating, graphing, acceleration. So basically we just did a lot about talking and graphing. And motion and force, talked about balance and unbalanced forces. That was basically like the only time we didn't graph anything. Chapter 12, we're at chapter 12B. Oh shit. Rip the page. Ooh, chapter 12, forces. Alright, we talked about Newton's first and second laws, gravity, and Newton's third law. Newton's first law, Newton's second law. Great things. Let me tell you what they're about. I got a flip page because I can just cheat. Oh, it talks about how an object in motion tends to stay in motion unless an outside force acts upon it. Then we talked about gravity, and we talked about like free falls, projectile motion. I think we talked about Apollo 13 a little bit, and like how they had and how they were like They're a projectile falling out of the sky. Newton's third law talks about action-reaction forces and momentum and whatnot. And we're on to the last chapter for today, anyway. Work and energy is the last chapter for today, and we have work, power, and machines. This one we learned a lot about like different machines and like mechanical advantages, stuff like that. So the first section is work, power, and machines, and it said basically what we classify work as. I think work was classified as an outside force or an outside object having a force on something, maybe. Then we talk about different simple machines, and that's like levers, levers.
What'd you say, David? Did you say something?
You gonna come introduce one of these?
Well, say something.
Yes. Alright, which one?
Do this one.
Alright,
I don't want to back your head, though. Just look at me and say something.
what is energy? Energy and work, potential
Say
energy,
something.
kinetic energy, other forms of energy.
Say something.
Energy.
There you go.
And the last
All right,
one, we
that's
have
it.
conservation of energy. Conservation of energy.
Was I trying to help him?
And that talks about how energy transforms, the law of conservation of energy, and efficiency machines. And Brandon doing a little jig. And so yeah, that's it for this chapter, and we'll have one more tomorrow, wrapping it all up.
Uno más.
I got the power.